In the meantime, let's go to the phones. We go to Nashville. Josh. Good to have you, Josh. What's up?
Jimmy, what up?
What's going on?
Dude, I got to tell you, I know you're asking this question. How the hell do you drive into a house? I know it's rhetorical, Jimmy, but I'm uniquely qualified to answer this question. It should be known I do so with zero pride whatsoever. It's not like something that, I open my resume with this story. But 20 years ago, out with the boys, having a few pops at the bowling alley, maybe a white Russian or two. I can make it home. It's only a mile. Didn't happen. Jump the curb, go through a guy's shed, through the kitchen, parked it right in his living room. Keep in mind, Jim, at this time, I live in Texas, and I'm thinking all hell's about to break loose, man. Every house in Texas got guns. I got to get out of here. Climb through the back window, out the hole that I left in this guy's house, run around the block to the front door, midnight, ring the doorbell. Jimmy, you talk about surreal. Somebody opens their front door and you see your truck parked in their living room. But Jimmy, safety first. My flashers were on. That's right. Before climbing out of the car in this haze, white Russian-induced haze, I thought, hey, I got a good idea. Put the flashers on because I'm not parked in a legal parking spot. Jimmy, like I say, not proud, just the facts. Don't drink and drive, folks.
Josh in Nashville, that sounds like one of those Nitsa commercials I do. You go to the bowling alley, you have a few pops, maybe a white Russian. You think to yourself, yeah, I can make it home. What's the worst thing that could happen? I could lose my license. I could run somebody over. I could kill somebody. I could jump the curb and go into a house. There are cops on the roadway. They're looking to write you a ticket. Click it or ticket. Don't drive drunk. So Josh in Nashville goes, yeah, I know. Paid for by Nitsa. Josh in Nashville, and again, I'm not making light of any of this. Josh said, hey, Jimmy, I know you asked it rhetorically. How do you drive into a house? He goes, well, I can answer it because I did. How about him laying out that, yeah, well, I had too much to drink and it was a really bad night and it's not like I'm proud of it. What, you mean you don't lead with that? Hey, nice to meet you. I'm Josh. Once I drove into a house. How about this guy's point that I still had the wherewithal to leave my hazards on just so people could see it? And you want to make sure that nobody is driving down the road and there's a car parked off to the side that you can't see, so you turn your hazards on. Hey, bro, let me ask you something. After you drove through this guy's kitchen and you had the wherewithal to turn the hazards on, did you also put out some flares on the front lawn? And then did you wait? Did you wait to exchange licenses with that house that you crashed into and insurance? This guy's incredible. How about his point that, hey, man, and by the way, I'm calling from Nashville, but when I did it, I was in Texas, and every house in Texas has a gun. Imagine this guy walking around the house with the homeowner. Hey, man, all right, why don't we take a little walk around? Just a little fender bender. You can rub that out. Look, it's nothing. It's nothing. Are you sure that your house did not look like this earlier? Are you sure that your house did not look like this when you bought it? Are you sure this is not the way your house always looks? With my sedan in your kitchen. In fact, if there's not a picture, no pics, didn't happen. I need to see documentation. I need to see a picture of your house prior to this evening before you tell me or accuse me of driving into your kitchen. So that's 2 for me. The Miano Pan did it, and Josh in Nashville did it.
It's 2 for me. It's 2 for me.
Don't call me with your story about how you drove into somebody's house. I'm sure somebody else has too. I'm just saying it's reckless. It's dangerous. It's unforgivable, especially in this day and age where it's so easy to get a ride. All you have to do is tap your phone. It's the easiest thing ever. That's why that makes it the most reckless thing ever. And the fact that the interim GM for the Mets is in that position, much less anybody else, is incredible. Especially since that's the same guy who only weeks earlier said, admonished his own players, take responsibility, take ownership of your career and your health.
You got to take ownership of your career and your health.
Sincerely, the guy who was napping it out in his car at 4:17 a.m. and arrested and refusing to give a breathalyzer or a blood test. But incredibly enough, failed a field sobriety test. You know, what was that guy like? I got this. Drive sober or get pulled over. Or get blind-ass drunk and drive into somebody's house. You tell me what's a better idea. Hey, Rome, judgmental much? Yes. Yes. Bad enough that you might take yourself out. Well, aside from somebody's house. You know the American dream? You buy a home. If that's the American dream, that's the ultimate nightmare fuel. You're just sitting in your living room, minding your own business, watching a ball game. Oh! Dude. There's a Chrysler Cordoba in my living room. How did that happen? That's when the American dream turns into the ultimate nightmare. Owning a home. Man, isn't it enough to worry about with the elements, earthquakes, floods, microbursts, tornadoes, idiots jumping curbs and driving into your home?